This is our double ribbon bow. We are going to do 12-inch tails. The number of loops will be 2 at 6 inches, 1 at 5 inches, 2 at 4 inches, and we will do a center loop at 2 inches. We're going to go ahead and we're going to stack the 2 ribbons that I'm going to be using. I'm going to use 2 2.5-inch ribbons. I'm going to make them very contrasting for you to be able to see this process easily. I'm going to match up my ends. I'm going to pull out a little bit of extra. I'm going to measure over 10 inches on this side, 2 inches on this side for my 12-inch tails. While they're matched up, both of the good sides of the ribbon are facing up. We're going to give it a half a twist. We're going to come back and we're going to measure our first loop at 6 inches. We're going to keep both of these ribbons together tightly. Measure out to 6. We're going to give it a half a turn. We're going to set up for our next loop. We're going to measure out to 6 inches, keeping those tightly together. We're going to give it a half a turn. Pull you out enough ribbon over here to give you ease of working with it. You want to keep them tightly together. I'm going to put my second loop on each side at 6 inches. I'm going to be using the same ribbons and not cutting them. 6 inches, give it a twist, half turn. I'm going to position my loops somewhat where I want them. I'm going to come back and we're going to make one loop at 5 inches on each side. We're going to keep these tightly together. Your dowel is tall enough for 3 rolls of ribbon over here. I just want to point that out to you. You don't have to just use the 2 that I'm using. You can use 3. Okay. There's our 2 loops at 5 inches. Now we need 2 loops at 4 inches. So again, we're going to keep these tightly together. We're going to put these in at 4 inches. And we're just going to put 2 of these loops in on each side. Bring it down, move your loops so that you can see your measurements. They're nice and large. I like to use a good wired edge ribbon for this bow. Much easier to work with. Okay, we've got our 4-inch loops in there. We're going to position those. We're going to put them so that they'll be in between the 6 and the 5-inch loops. We're just filling up the spaces. Now we're going to make a center loop. And we're going to put that at 2 inches. We're just going to trim that off at the bottom. Okay, we are ready to remove this from the bow maker. Since I have all of this ribbon all doubled up, I'm going to choose to use a zip tie for this one. I'm going to turn my bow maker. I'm going to run this right up next to the center dowels. I'm going to bring it and cross it over diagonally. I'm going to get started putting this into my zip tie. We're not going to tighten it all the way. We're just going to get it on there. This is what it looks like on the side. From there, we're just going to lift up. We're going to hang on to it tightly. We're going to continue to tighten it up. Again, we are going to have our pointer finger on one side of center and our middle finger on the other. We're going to bring it to the back. Before we tighten it all the way, we're going to insert a pipe cleaner in here so that we'll be able to attach it to our projects. We're just going to pull it as tight as we can. Want to make sure that that is to the back. From there, we're going to take each one of our loops and pull on it. Want to break it away from the center dowel it was connected to. I had my center loops in there. I'm going to put my thumb and my pointer finger right next to the zip tie. We're going to give it a twist. Now my tails are coming straight down in the bow. Make sure that these are right where we have an open space. You can just bend your pipe cleaner and hold on to the zip tie while we do this, if you so choose. Now we're ready to take this apart. I'm going to leave my center loop just like it is. I'm not going to separate it, but I will separate everything else. So I want to make sure that every other one for that bottom one. And now we're going to take our 5-inch loops and we're going to bring those. Again, we're just filling up spaces. However you start out, that's how you want to continue. So I'm pulling the middle to the right. We'll turn it around and we'll do the same thing for the other side. However you start, that's how you want to finish it. So if I want them to be uniform, I'm going to pull the inside with my left hand on this side. There we go. We're going to do the same thing over here. You'll be amazed when I hold this up at how full this bow is. This can be used for packages, it can go on a wreath, it can be used on anything that you'd like to put it on. There's your double ribbon bow. So, very simple and easy. We're just going to give our tails a little fluff here. Got our loops all out, all separated. There is your double ribbon bow.